Blog Talk Radio.
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Dance him a needle! Dance him a needle! Man, crush your needle! Man, assassinate! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! I can't got straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! You can stop the straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! I will fly high! 5-star frog splash! You can't stop me! 5-star frog splash! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! It's all about the yin and the yang, the balance of power and zen. You can't stop the yin and the yang, the balance of power and zen. Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! I will levitate, flip kick you in the yam. I will decimate, you can prepare for. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show!
Happy New Year, everybody. It is January 7th, isn't it? Yeah, it's January 7th, 2009. We've never had a January 7th, 2009 before, so erase your expectations and be ready for whatever's out there. Okay, including the host of RVD Radio eating a taco while he's doing his opening monologue. I'm multi-talented. You guys knew that. You guys knew that already. Today's subject is pride. I want to talk about pride, everybody. Everyone's familiar with pride. Everybody uses it. Everybody feels it. I bet not a lot of people think about it the way that RVD does. And by the way, you can't refer to yourself in third person like I just did unless you're a superstar. But when RVD thinks about stuff, he thinks from his unique, one-of-a-kind perspective, always outside the box. So, what's up with pride? Hi, baby.
Hi, baby. Pride and Prejudice, huh?
Oh. SVD just walked in the room. Check it out. Have you seen the new form? They, completely redid the Blog Talk Radio. I couldn't find where to sign in, and now I can't find my switchboard, but she says it's under my Blog Talk Radio, which I'm at. Ooh, my switchboard. See it?
Hey, I see it.
It's probably an easier format once we get used to it. Yay. Okay. And start chat session. Okay, cool. Now I got 1,000 windows open. All right. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
So we are talking about pride. I want to hear from everybody what they think about that. Is it something good? Is it something bad? Pride in case you didn't know, is one of the 7 deadly sins. Ooh, you didn't know you could die from being proud, did you? You can, because Christians will throw rocks at you because it's blasphemous, because you're saying that you don't need God if you have pride.
Those that live in glass houses should not throw stones.
What about people who live in ice houses like igloos?
They should not light fires.
Well put, SVD. Throwing snowballs is probably okay.
I think so.
Cool, okay. So that's something that maybe you've heard of, and you said, well, I never thought about that before. I don't know. That's quite often the case when RVD throws something out on the table for a topic. But is it something good or is it bad? I mean, pride is obviously something you can say, well, let's see, I think it depends on how excessive it is. No, we're talking about the same word, okay? We are raised to believe that without pride, that we're shallow people. You know, what's the matter with you? Ain't you got no pride? But back in the day, in fact, before the 1920s, from what I've read, it was bad. It was considered one of the sins. And by the way, did you know there was originally 8 deadly sins? I bet you did not. The one that got removed is vainglory, because vainglory has a lot to do with pride. In fact, all of the sins apparently have roots in pride, and pride is the base of all of them, apparently. Lust. What are the 7 sins, baby?
I don't know.
I know. Put her on the spot. I'm not going to try it right now either. We'll have it before the end of the show. I can't get past lust because I don't agree with that one either. I don't think that it's evil to lust. I think it's an appreciation for the physical beauty that God created. It's admiring His creation. So I don't agree with that either. You know, that lusting after human flesh is evil. Fuck that. You said, hey, good work, God. Right? Isn't that what you're thinking when you're out on the beach looking at the bikinis? I don't know. Some people tell you that you're saying, thank you, Nikki. We got lust, gluttony, which obviously is eating too much. I eat too much. Gluttony is acceptable by standards on Thanksgiving, and you're supposed to stuff yourself because people tell you you're supposed to. They say, oh, no, you're supposed to eat until you got to loosen your belt and then eat more. It's Thanksgiving. Well, all right, fuck that, you know. You don't have to do that.
First time this year.
Yeah. Did you do it because you were supposed to?
No, I did it because I was on chemo and I needed the calories.
Right on. And then we got greed, obvious one to understand. I mean, greed is selfishness, right? I mean...
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you know, it's based, okay, but...
Yeah, it's a form of selfishness, I suppose.
Greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride, which is our topic today. So it used to be vainglory, too, Blog Talk Radio producer Nikki. Maybe you didn't know that. And I guess the difference is that I think vainglory has to do with basing your self-absorbing opinion of yourself off of feedback from other people. You know, like you need to over-tip the waiter so that he thinks you're cool and it makes you vainglorious. But they took that one out. They said, fuck that one. We got enough here. And there you go. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, penis envy, and pride. The 7 deadly sins. But then we're taught that you should have pride. Hey, man, ain't you got no pride? Stand up. Believe in yourself. And so, in fact, that it's pushed upon us, and we're brainwashed with it. Know what I mean? You don't know what I mean? Let me explain. We're desperate looking for things to find pride in because we're brainwashed to think that that's a good thing, or it's actually because we're trying to accomplish and find something. I believe what it is that pride is a celebration of standing out, which, as you know, RVD, one of a kind, the unique Mr. Monday Night. I'm all about standing out. I'm all about being different, not patterning myself after anybody else, trying to go where no man has gone before. And I'm always trying to push that on everybody else, too. And everybody else is you, RVD Radio listeners. And I think that pride is a awareness of that. It's a moment where you say, wait a second, I stand out for something. You know, you could have pride because you won the spelling bee directly. You, sir or ma'am, kicked ass. You can also have pride in connecting yourself to people that you really aren't that connected to. You know, say your high school football team won. Yay, hell yeah. And then you stand out because you belong to that school, and that school kicks ass. It's the best. You want to be known and grouped with their success. You want to go a little further? Hey, how about, state? You know, people used to ask me all the time, Michigan State or Western, man, which one you go for? I don't know. I'm not a sports fan, so I wouldn't know the difference, you know. But, hey, I'm from Michigan. Can't we all win? I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. And then let's go to the Olympics, all right? We want so bad to feel that pride and to celebrate other people's success that we'll be proud of some swimmer that we've never fucking met, never will meet, maybe wouldn't even like if we did meet him, and he won a swimming competition. Yeah! USA! 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 That's all because we can find a connection with that. We want the whole world to know that USA stood apart from everybody else. Think I'm wrong? Call in and let me hear what you think about it. I believe that's what it is, and I don't think there's a difference between pride and proud. I think that when you're proud, it's a feeling of pride. Bobby Duncan Jr., good friend of ours who has passed away, has more pride for being from Texas than anybody I've ever met. Oh my God, you couldn't have a conversation with him for more than 2 minutes without him saying, brother, you know me, Van Dam, I'm from Texas. We don't take no bull. You know, and also his dad, he was so proud of his dad. Brother, you know me. My daddy played football. I'm from Texas. That was Bobby Duncan Jr. He was such a character, and he was so funny. And I really enjoyed him, and I miss him. And I always think of him when I think proud because
he was so proud.
He was so proud. I mean, it would be, if you wanted to offend him, it would be, you would know exactly how to do it.
I did often, because I'm from Oklahoma, and Bobby's from Texas. So just like most Oklahoma fans, I would put my the hook 'em horn sign down instead of up, and that would just get under his skin because he was so proud of Texas. And if you offended Texas, you offended Bobby.
For sure. For sure. And, so now it's considered a virtue, hey, he's a proud man. But then also it's something bad, We just, Sonia and I were just talking a few minutes ago about this local agent that tried to rip me off a few months ago. And, I had to get my money from him. He totally misrepresented himself, tried to take some money from me, and, maybe that's water under the bridge. He called and said, I'd like to put that behind us, and I'd like to know if I can represent you again. We're throwing this management company together, this and that. My first thought is, fuck no, I don't want to work with this guy again. I mean, I knew that when I determined he was trying to rip me off last time, and he's going to say it was an honest mistake, it was miscommunication, but I honestly believe in my heart that he misrepresented himself in hopes of taking advantage of me in a business way that I would not have happened. So, what if he does have something good, though? But now he says, well, just to be up front so that there's no miscommunication, if we bring anything to you, then we'll take 10%, otherwise we get nothing. Well, that's where the miscommunication was before, because he didn't see it that way, and I did. So now, Sonia's like, no, fuck him, we don't want to work with him. And then I said, yeah, but what if he's got a good connection with something really good going on, TV show, movie, commercial, something where, he could use a big superstar like RVD and hook me up? Is it, in fact, just my pride that says I don't want to work with this guy? Pretty easy one to answer. That's totally just pride saying, hey, fuck this guy, you don't need him. It's not good business sense. Have an extra pair of eyes out there. He's not looking for exclusivity. There's no downside other than the fact that I'm putting him over when I want to put him under. That's pride.
Sorry.
Sonia, are you done coughing?
I think so. I'm sorry. I've been getting over a cold.
Sonia's feeling great, by the way, being like 3 weeks done with chemo, but she did catch a little cold, which she's getting over, and pulled it all together to join us here on RVD TV.
And we don't have a cough button. Sorry, guys.
Did you notice I just called RVD Radio RVD TV?
No.
Ha! Is that a Freudian, what's that word?
Freudian slip.
What does that mean exactly? Who is that guy?
That guy was a psychologist, and he believed that basically everything came back to your mother's the problem, or if you're a guy, you want to fuck your mother. That was basically his whole scheme.
Well, I really wasn't going there at all when I called this RVD TV.
And that is very, basic Freud, but...
Okay, well, cool. So we got a bunch of calls, as always. So let me go straight to the phones. I want to hear how everybody, how the holidays were, and more importantly, what they think about this subject tonight. And I also got to call some of my guests that I haven't called yet and tell them that they're guests on the show. I might need your help doing that while I'm talking, baby.
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? Yes, you do. All right. Well, baby, let's check in with New York correspondent Harry Slash.
Guys.
How you doing, Harry?
All good, all good. Dude,
how's 2009 treating you so far?
So far, so good. It looks like it's going to be a much better year than 2008.
Dude, this is going to be the best year that we've had ever, in fact. I'm very excited about it. I got that special insight to my path, with my spiritual studies and stuff, and I know for a fact that 2009 is going to be shamokin'. Very excited.
So aren't we all, man? It can't be worse than 2008.
Well, no, we went through quite a lot of shit in 2008, and that's what you do. You keep going through it. That's life is full of obstacles and challenges, and we keep moving forward until we don't move at all, and who knows what the hell happens then. Nobody in this life knows.
Well, not yet, but when someone finally comes back, we'll know.
Yeah, all right. Well, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the great return, hey, by the way, was that a comment about Jesus, by the way? Was that talking about the great return and any kind of subliminal, secret, hidden message?
Not that I know of. I'm not sure exactly which great return you're talking about.
Jesus is coming back, dude. It's like it's Revelations or something. The return. He's coming back. He's going to lead the Jawas into Israel and march through the valley of the Sand people. And
is that the episode where he confronts Darth Vader, or am I mixing stories up?
I get confused myself a little bit. I'm not definitely qualified to speak from that storybook, but what about pride, Harry Slash? People in New York have a sense of pride. Hey, you fucking with me? That's kind of like a natural thing. I don't know if it's Italian-based or what, but they're proud. Like they can't, even their appearance, they take pride in how they dress. Like Booker T, he has class, he's always like, he dresses up, he looks classy, it's impressive. It's a quality that I don't have. I don't take pride in the way I dress. To me, I think I'm kind of, I don't know, I'll say Sheldon, again, and compare myself to the Big Bang Theory, because I don't get it. I'm lucky if I can match my socks. I don't understand the importance, really, in the color of what I'm wearing or the thickness or whatever, and don't wear this after this month. I don't get it. Obviously, I put my pride in something else. What about you, Harry Slizash?
Well, I think the thing is that you look more towards the internal than the external on a lot of things, not just your appearance, but just about everything in life. You look to see what's further deep down than the actual shell and cover.
Ooh, well put. Well put. What about you, man? How do you feel about pride? And do you believe, that it's a flaw or virtue? Do you think that it's something that separates people from the path they should be on because they're under the false impression they don't need God anymore if they have pride? Should we pelt them with rocks? What do you think?
I don't see
pride
that.
fucking with you.
Big pop from Harry Slash. Pulp Fiction.
It's false pride that I think is what's the downfall for people. Having pride in yourself, your work, your accomplishments, there's nothing wrong with that. You should be proud of what you've done. You should also be ashamed of the bad stuff in life. It's the false pride when you bury the bad and you overrate the good, which is where you start to go wrong. That's just my opinion, though.
All right. Well, that's one man's opinion. One New York local correspondent's opinion. But all right, it's considered a respectable quality. You know what I mean? Pride. There's even, I was talking to Kid Kash earlier, who will be on the show joining us later on. He's been doing a lot of MMA fighting lately. And so we're going to talk about pride. He said, do you mean pride like the feeling, or do you mean Pride the fighting company? And I said, well, that's a good point. I mean, this company named themselves after this quality, pride, as a respectable virtue. I mean, there's valor. That's a MMA fighting company, and there's pride, and they come up with these words to describe just the proud, kick-ass nature, of standing up for yourself and your country and your people and whatever it is that you want to stand up for. And, how did it get to be like that when originally it was written by some monk as one of the 8 qualities that you should avoid? Any idea on that one?
Not a one. I do know, I'm trying to remember the origins of an old saying, pride comes before the fall, which basically says if you look at yourself and you admire yourself too much, you're going to go down.
Right, which, of course, brings the Greek myth Narcissus to mind. Narcissus was he was a guy that was in love with his reflection. He looked into the water and he saw his reflection. He thought he was so handsome that he was completely distracted. All the gorgeous topless nymphs were all dancing around him, saying, hey, look at us, look at us. And he's like, not no. Just like Vanity Smurf. Remember him? Not no. And and anyway, he falls in the water and drowns, trying to connect himself to this handsome reflection that he's in love with. And the moral of that story was, of course, that pride can be a downfall. I could think of a lot of examples where pride is a downfall, and I can also think of times where I have let pride make my decisions for me, and afterwards I was glad I did that, because it ended up helping me understand, and solidify the fact that, hey, you know what? I'm a stand-up guy. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are shallow. They're hypocritical. They don't even believe in their own bullshit that they're saying. And they still find things to be proud of, whatever it is. They're proud of their family. You said something about false pride, and that brings to mind a mistake. Like perhaps they're proud and they should not be. Maybe they don't really. Maybe they're not really as good as they think they are. Maybe that's more of a false pride. In which case, where do you separate that from confidence? It's important for people to have confidence, to believe in themselves. I'm all about giving people energy, run with it, put it towards what you will. But at the same time, not everybody has what they think they can. A lot of people want to be pro wrestlers, for example. Well, 1 out of 10 million are going to make it, but all those other guys that are trying, I can't tell them not to try and they'll never make it. I don't know that, I made it. I was 1 out of 10 million, but at the same time, when they're like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to take no for an answer, sometimes you're like, no, dude, really, you should take no for an answer. You should listen. You know what I mean? So that's what I think of with false pride, Harry Slash. I'm going to go to Mike from Iowa and get his input, too. What's up, Mike from Iowa?
Not much.
Awesome, dude. Thanks for calling RVD Radio. How's 2009 treating you?
Pretty good so far.
Awesome, dude. What are you proud of?
I'm proud of being able to have my family around.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's something that a lot of people connect with. There's pride in family. And again, a lot of times it's just there, whether I don't know if it's right to say they deserve it or not, but whether they qualify by any measurable standards or not. For example, there used to be a family down the street that was really, really poor where I grew up. They didn't have any money. They lived right by the river. They wore each other's clothes. A lot of times they wouldn't shower, they stunk. And we made fun of them a lot as kids, like the rest of the neighborhood did. I don't feel good about it as an adult thinking back, but I'm just being honest with you. we were kind of jerks, and we would make fun of them for being poor. Now, they're going to not take that because of pride, and also because somebody's fucking with them, trying to insult them, and they realize that. But also, you know, what if it's justified to an extent? Like, for instance, what if their dad didn't have a job, was an alcoholic, beat the kids, and fucked the little girl, right? Well, even if that is the truth and that is the real case, when it comes to outsiders, who the line would be drawn by anybody outside of their family, when they try to come in and say, you know, your dad's a drunk, you know, fuck you, he is not, that's family pride. I'm not going to let somebody fuck with me or someone in my family. Well, what if they're right? They're just saying he's a drunk, and he is. It might be justified. It's still no reason to insult somebody. It's no reason somebody should have to eat shit over it. But at the same time, you got that sense of family pride, and sometimes, you know, it's just there because it's there. I think that's that connection. You know, you're connected to it. You know, I could tell you your school sucks. And even if you don't like your school, if you're a kid that, like, doesn't like your school, but you go to Penfield High School, and I'm telling you, Harper Creek's a way better school. Penfield's got a bunch of pussies. Now you got school pride. You're connected. Now I'm making fun of you because of your connection to what I'm talking about. You're like, bullshit, Harper Creek's a bunch of pussies. And really, why'd you do that? Why'd you just stand up to the plate like that? Pride. Pride stepped in, grabbed you by your ears, and pulled you up to the plate and said, here you go, man, stand up for yourself. It's something we don't think about a whole lot, you know. It's good to be proud. I'm proud. I'm proud of a lot of accomplishments. I'm proud of people I know. Can you get proud of people you don't know? People that are strangers that I don't even know. I mean, so many people say that they're proud of Sonia for fighting cancer. They don't know her, or for Sonia going through chemo. I'm so proud of you. You beat this. You're such a trooper. Well, how do they get that feeling, that sensation? I mean, if being proud is about being connected and making that distinction, you know, with you and somebody, and it separates you from everybody else, how did they do that in such a circumstance to say, like, they're proud of Sonia for going through chemo, unless they've done it themselves, you know, or they know someone that's gone through it, and so they feel connected then. That's always a damn good possibility, seeing as how popular, for lack of a better term, cancer is, you know? So, and chemo, too. A lot of people can deal with it. Mike, I got you on the line, and you're going to get a chance to talk to my good friend, tag team partner, Arabian brother, Sabu Son. What up, Sabu?
Hey, Rob.
How you doing?
Good.
Good, man. Good. I got a couple callers on the line right now that I've let through, one of them being New York correspondent Harry Slash. Say what up, Harry Slash.
What up, Sabu?
Hey, what's happening, brother?
What's going on? How's the weather out there?
Terrible.
Yeah, I bet it is. By the way, Sonia and I got some sun today out on our balcony. It was gorgeous. Ooh, Sonia's showing me her tan lines. Right on. So, Sabu, we're talking about pride today. That's the topic for today's conversation. You know, I always like to make a connection between you and the Bible, because when I was very young, just starting, you know, into manhood, 18 years old, 19 years old, very impressionable, I'd travel with you. You had Jesus Christ hanging from the rearview mirror, and I know that you would pray. I think you probably still do pray before your matches, you know, pray when you want to make that connection to the divine energy. What do you think about the 7 deadly sins? If you're not familiar with them, Sabu, back in the day, and this was like 500 A.D., by the way, that some man decided to write down 7 deadly sins. These are normal feelings that we all feel that are supposed to be downfalls that God frowns upon in a blasphemous fashion. Okay, lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Those are the 7 deadly sins. You've probably heard of them before. Sabu, isn't pride a good thing?
Yes, pride with an E.
Pride with an E. So you're saying that that pride, one of the deadly 7 sins, is a complete different word with a different meaning than the pride that you feel when you're proud of something?
Yes.
I know it's a thought question, brother. That's what we're doing here, is just thinking about it. Because, I actually thought about that. I thought that somebody might say something to that effect, and I thought about that, and I thought about what it would feel like to have pride in a way, that would be considered one of the 7 deadly sins, back in the day. So if you feel pride, that would mean that, let's use it in a bad way. Let's say that pride keeps me from hooking up with an agent that screwed me over before, not because I think he'd screw me over again, but because I want to say, well, fuck him, I don't need him. Well, that's just pride. It's keeping something that could be positive from happening. Not sure that's a different feeling. That pride, I think that's the same sensation to me, the same emotion that I feel if I'm proud, like if I just won a world championship and I got everyone saying, all right, RVD, you're the best, you're the champ. It's kind of like that same feeling. It's like, yeah, I'm the best. I'm not necessarily above you, but right now I'm the shit and nobody can fuck with me. That's kind of the same feeling, I think, as the emotion that would come in and say, fuck that guy. You don't want to be associated with him. Mike from Iowa, this is a pretty deep subject tonight, man. You think you can hang with this?
Yeah, I can try.
All right. All right. So you got family pride. That means, that just because, without even thinking about it, like a natural instinct, if somebody was in conversation to throw out, for some reason, start insulting your great-great-grandfather. This is a guy that you've never even met before, but he calls him by name and says he was nothing but a loser. You could take offense to that, correct?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it's a guy that you're connected to through family. I mean, he had a son who had a son who had you, but you've never met him. He was long gone before you were ever born. He's a man, and who you don't know anything about him. You don't know if he was a good guy or not, but you have a sense, because he's in your family, to protect him and to stick up for him. That's something worth thinking about. I'm definitely not saying it's the wrong thing to feel, but it's something to throw out on the table and actually look at and say, wow, that's kind of, that's interesting, and it's something that's put in us that we don't consciously think of. Somebody could go back to the very, very first Zakowski, which would, be the guy that started my family, and someone could say, oh, man, he was an asshole, whatever. And, I mean, if it was a couple 100 years ago, I think, because I'm so open-minded, I think that I could be like, oh, was he? Really? Was he an asshole? Okay. I'm glad he dropped the load that eventually came down to be my dad's load that was me. But other than that, if someone wants to rip on somebody that I don't even know that my bloodline comes from, but it was like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, I think I'm okay with that. It's like, it's that connection, and it's figuring how close is that connection, If somebody wants to start ripping on my brother, I feel like, even if I think my brother's a dick, which isn't, I'm not saying that's the case, but anybody's brother, if someone, rips on your brother, and they're on the outside, you can't let them come between you and your brother. You guys have a tighter bond, regardless if you hate your brother. You can't let some guy talk trash about him that you don't know, so then it's your duty. You feel like a moral obligation because of that family pride to stand up and say, hey, fuck off, bitch, fuck you and your family. But hopefully not with that language. Yeah, so that's the topic. Sabu, I know you couldn't be any more proud of the Sheik, and that is with good reason. I'm very proud of the Sheik too. So when somebody talks about the Sheik, I take it personally. If someone says, "Oh, I used to love the Sheik. He was the best," I feel proud of the Sheik. Now, I didn't have anything to do with his accomplishments. I didn't have anything to do with getting him where he got. I wasn't even thought of when, I wasn't even born or anything when he was in his prime. Yet I feel connected to him, to where if somebody says something good about him, I feel proud. And likewise, if they were to say something, bad about him, I would be offended too. If someone said, "Oh, Sheik, he sucked," whatever, I would feel like I was personally attacked by an association that they might not even have in mind when they're saying it. I think that's family pride too. You know where I'm coming from, Cebu?
I do. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's say it's somebody that you can't stand. Let's say Sheik, Sheik's somebody that we both know and relate to, and we want people to connect us to Sheik because we're so proud. We want people to think of Sheik when they think of us, and vice versa. But I don't know. Let's say it's something. Sabu. If someone says someone that you run into says, "Oh yeah, I met Triple H. He was kind of a dick." Are you going to be offended by that?
Not right.
Not even a little bit, but why not? Aren't we kind of like the same family? I mean, it's like a family of wrestlers, like a group. It's easy to put us in a group that sets us apart from everybody else. We're the pro wrestlers. We're the WWE locker room, but yet we don't take offense if certain guys are singled out or put down because we don't want that connection then. We don't want to make that connection as if you're talking about him, you're talking about me. It's just not there then. So it's something that it's sometimes there and it's sometimes not. And it's interesting, to really think about it and figure out, when it comes into play. All right, I'm going to go to David from California because you guys are a little bit quiet. What's up, David from California?
What's up, Van Daminator?
Good to talk to you, man. Wasn't it beautiful on the West Coast today?
Yes, it was. But I'm I'm in Sacramento, and so like
it's a little colder there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I know you weren't shoveling snow.
Oh no, I'm not that close to the mountains.
Right on. So if you've been listening to the show, David, we're talking about pride, and I want to get people's opinions on it. Is it something? Is it a flaw or is it a virtue? Is it a quality that you want that makes you a deeper substance of a person, or is it in fact something that's a flaw that could eventually lead to downfall that you'd like to get rid of?
Well, pride to me, I think that it's one of the most complex features that a person can have. Because, I mean, like, in a way, it's similar to honor, if you understand what I'm saying. Because, like, you can be proud of an object, but at the same time you can have that inner sense of pride for accomplishment. Or, like, for example, you were saying that, like, people are proud of SBD for her accomplishment over the chemo and stuff. And I believe, and I am too, so I don't want to put it out there that I'm the bad guy. But,
thanks very much for being proud of me for the chemo.
No problem. And so, like, what I'm saying is, like, pride can work as an inspiration as well as just, like, a feeling of, yeah.
Minus the E.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say, are you overseas?
Who, me?
No, Sabu. I thought that's what he just asked.
No, I said the E is okay. The E is evil.
Without the E, then it's prid.
No,
but it's pronounced pride.
Without the E?
I think.
One is pride, and it's spelled without an E.
I'm gonna have to get a dictionary to back that one up. As far as I know, PRID is not a word in the English language. I have been wrong before. And,
I think it's biblical.
I just looked it up right now with our awesome resources. All right, well, no, but you know what? I'm really listening to you, David. This is a deep subject. So I know, don't sound like you're trailing off and losing us. I'm trying to follow you, and I'm wondering when you said you can be proud of an object. I wonder if maybe you could give me an example, just so we can be on the same page.
Okay, for an example, well, I'm just using this. It's not fully an object, but
right, okay.
like something that you worked hard to get, like a house. Like let's say that you didn't do the whole wrestling thing and that you were just an average Joe like the rest of your fans and stuff, and you had to work your butt off, and it took you years and years for you finally to get that your last payment for your big house that you love to stay in and stuff, and it's just fully paid off. It's beautiful, and
I'm with you there, okay, because I am proud of my house, and I can definitely relate, and then it's one thing to be proud. Are you proud of your accomplishment because you bought the house, or are you proud of the house itself because maybe you built it, or maybe you just love it, but I'm with you, though. I definitely
like you were proud with ECW, right?
Absolutely. Thank God for DVDs. That's the thing. I'm so proud of all those matches. I'm so proud of what I've done that I want people to see it. You know what I mean? It's like when I was wrestling, I wanted people to see what I do because I was so proud of it, and I thought that was a big contrast with people's impression of pro wrestling. I'm sitting on an airplane next to some guy, and he doesn't know me, and we're talking. He finds out I'm a pro wrestler. He's already got like an image in his mind of what pro wrestling is. Guess what? That's not what Rob Van Dam does. So automatically, I want to separate myself and be proud of what I am. So when he says, "Oh, you mean like those guys in WWF? They get in the ring and throw each other around?" And automatically, my thought is, dude, watch one of my fucking matches. That's how proud I am. I'm like, you have no idea who you're sitting next to, motherfucker. But it doesn't come out.
RVD, motherfucker.
People have to define wrestling in their own form of art, like you do.
That's true. And so I'm just using that for an example to show, just to say, hold on now. Sonia's got pride here on the dictionary. Pride, noun, a feeling or deep pleasure of satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. So that's the definition that we get of pride.
With E or without?
I'm sorry?
Is that the pride with an E or without?
That is the pride with an E. There is actually not a pride without the E, although we do take the E off for the pronunciation to tell you how to say pride with an E. We knock the E off, put it in parentheses, and say, here, say it like this with a long I. Pride.
Oh.
Yeah, so a feeling or deep pleasure of satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, achievements of those whom one is associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. I think pretty much everything can fit into that. The house, the wrestling matches, going through chemo, pretty much everything can fit into that. You're proud. I'm proud of you too, baby. I'm proud you're my wife. It doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. I think, basically, I think that you can let being proud of something get in the way of logic. I believe that all emotions can get in the way of logic. You don't want to make a decision while you're angry. If you're in love and you're quote, pussy whipped, you end up doing a lot of stuff, dragging your chin through the dirt, chasing some girl around, making all the wrong decisions. Emotion gets in the way of logic. I've always said that. And
that's why I can never argue with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's why she can never argue with me, because I try to use common sense as my weapon. So what I was going to say was, I do believe you can let pride get in the way, because it is an emotion, and you can say, wait, I'm too proud to do that. I'm too proud to accept money. Yeah, I need money. I'm fucking broke, but I'm too proud for a handout, or I'm too proud to take any help from this person. You kidding me? I can't do that. Well, guess what? Then it's kind of a bad thing. It's getting in your way. But the fact that you're proud, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's bullshit, that people try to throw that around and try to tell you that God frowns on this just so that you can live with guilt, just so you can feel guilty, just to cause that inner struggle of you doing something that you feel like you're not supposed to do. I think that's what it's all about. And I'm going to go to Officer X.
Officer X.
What? Officer X. Okay. Let's go to Officer X, because I know he's listening, and producer, Blog Talk Radio producer, Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Say hi, Nikki, baby.
Hi, Nikki.
She is Officer X, wants to talk about pride, so talk to us, Officer X. How are you?
What's up, bro? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you, bro. 2009, just like I said, it's awesome. So far, things are looking better and better every day.
Why wouldn't it be, man? Hey, before I start, let me give a shout-out to Officer Mark, the biggest wrestling mark ever to wear a badge. We'll keep his name anonymous to protect the guilty.
Wait. I thought you were the biggest wrestling mark to ever wear a badge.
I thought I was too, Sonny, until I seen this kid's house. Oh, my God.
Does he have Sabu posters all up in his room?
Yeah, he's such a mark. He drove from this area all the way to Philly to go to an ECW house show.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, man, that's
a mark.
Yeah, but it's not that extreme. I've definitely heard of worse. What do you think about tonight's subject, Officer X?
I'm with you, but there's a difference between pride. I don't think you have to have pride. You
have to have pride.
Yeah, because you weren't put on this earth to be a doormat. If you don't have any pride, people are going to walk all over you and shit all over you and treat you like a piece of garbage.
Well, okay, so if pride is a necessary factor that seriously is required to be human beings, then is it because we need that positive energy? We need to find a source of energy so that we can vibrate at a positive speed? Because I believe it has a lot to do with that. I think that's why you celebrate other people's successes and you're proud of them so that you can share their vibrations and maybe keep you on that positive frequency. Do you think it has something to do with that, or am I overthinking it?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that. But pride is good, but anything, we've talked about this a million times, moderation. Too much pride can lead to arrogance, and that's no way you want to be.
So it's basically the same thing, pride, flaw, pride, virtue, same thing, just too much of a good thing, you think, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go out of your house, you want yourself to look correct, you want your clothes to be right, your car to be right, your house to be right.
Yeah, see, that's something where I'm not like a lot of people in a lot of ways, and of course we're all different. You can get me, I can talk for an hour on how we're all different. But one of the ways that I know I'm different is the way that I dress. I have a closet full of clothes, and I usually wear like the same 2 pair of shorts over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Really correct that you have a closet full of T-shirts.
And I don't care what I wear, I mean, people give me T-shirts everywhere I go, so that's one thing they always end up collecting. And, like, I don't really, I mean, obviously I care enough about my appearance to do my hair, and brush my teeth and all that. I don't really care that much. Like, if I go to the gym and I'm there to work out, I don't really care that much if people are thinking, I don't like his shoes. I mean, I really don't give a fuck.
No, I understand that, but I mean, okay, pride. Are you going to go out there, take it to wrestling? Are you going to show up to a card 50 pounds overweight, having no breath, not being able to jump up and down?
I'm definitely not going to do that.
Why not?
Because I do take pride in my physical appearance. That's one of my more upfront, I think, outstanding qualities and factors about my life. Ever since I got interested in exercising when I was like a junior in high school, that's been like a great, major part of my life. So that's definitely, it's safe to identify me with physical activity, whether it's with action or whether it's with being in shape. No doubt about that. However, if you and I are out at a restaurant and we're eating, and I pull out floss and I start flossing my teeth, it's not because I don't have any pride. It's because I don't understand why that's bad. That's one of the many things my wife had to teach me, not to floss my teeth at the dinner table. And I didn't understand because I'm like, well, wait a second. I mean, it's okay to get a toothpick and pick at my tooth with that, but not floss. Isn't that the same thing? And I didn't understand, and she had to explain it to me. But some stuff like that just doesn't make sense to me. Just like matching clothes and fashion and stuff. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I understand that other people have skills in that, but I do not. So don't ever ask my opinion. Like when Sonia asks me opinions, it cracks me up because we'll be going out somewhere or she'll be going somewhere. She'll say, which shoes do you like better with this dress? And I'm the last person qualified to answer. I'm an idiot when it comes to that.
But you're the only person in the house.
So I figure, like I'll just give my honest opinion. I like that one better. But she knows, she knows up front just that I'm saying I don't know anything about fashion. I have no idea. When I watch TV and you see some celebrities getting ripped on, because of their fashion sense, I don't get it. And it seems like a waste of energy to me, too. How important is that?
I just need your 2 cents, that's all.
Well,
take it into consideration.
And a lot of times she'll humor me by saying, well, the only thing that matters is what you think.
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you. But the pride is 100% necessary as long as it doesn't run to the excess.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Because you're a churchgoer, and I know you're not an expert on the Bible, so if you don't know, that's okay. But I wonder, have you ever seen the 7 deadly sins in the Bible?
Sure.
So, because of what I understood that they were not in the original verse, and then I know, it was like in 500 A.D. This guy wrote it in, and then years later it was the guy named Sir Gregory the Great that rewrote it and made it the 7 and took out vainglory. And so I didn't know if all the Bibles do have that in there or if that's something that's just implied to be in the Bible, but in fact it's not. But you're telling me that you have seen that.
Hold on. You know what I'm going to do for you right now, buddy?
You got to look it up?
I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to call the drunk monk.
What?
Remember, the priest friend I got that was the professor at the college?
Yeah, you said that you were going to get him on the show a few times.
Yeah, he's afraid to come on. He doesn't want that shit. I told him we give him a nice name, too, Father Judas Priest and everything, but he won't go for it. I'm going to call the drunk monk, and I'm going to see if I can get him to call in, and I'll call back.
The drunk monk. Okay, and you'll call us back either way.
You got it, bro.
All right, Officer X.
Peace.
Taking a break. I love to get the official word,
Yeah.
And that is, a priest is, although I don't believe a priest is any closer to God than you or I do think that he is a higher professor of the study of the Bible. That's what he is. That's what he is. If you want to know a lot about algebra, you're going to go to the college, you're going to go to the highest degree professor, if that's what you want, that can teach you the most about algebra. To me, that's what the church employees are. The people that work at churches, the monks, priests, nuns. What's that?
Oh, I'm watching the Royal Rumble. The 1990s.
Okay. All right. He's watching the Royal Rumble. That's cool. That's a great way to get yourself muted, Dave. But I didn't even know that was on. Does that mean it's on today? The live Royal Rumble? No, today's fucking Wednesday. They do that shit on Sundays. Right? Anyway, I love the monks, the priests, even the Pope. I don't feel like the Pope is any closer to God, like a lot of people assume. And his position does kind of imply that he's like God's best friend. Like God has like a group of people that he talks to that he really likes on earth, and they're the monks, and everyone else is like levels and levels and levels below them. So they think when they're talking to a priest, a monk, or if they can talk to a pope, that they're actually almost talking to God. They're like 1 degree off from God. I don't think that at all. I just think that they are the highest professors of the studies of the Bible. That's what they do. They break off into their own versions of how they study the Bible, and then they study it, and they study it and study it, devote their life to it, and they're great people to answer questions for you about the Bible. I'm going to go to another call. And this one, I think we're familiar with Miss Freethinker Nikki Heyman.
Good evening, Denmeister.
How are you, Nikki? I got SVD here.
Hey, Nikki.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm on the road tonight. How's things going with the show?
Are you stalking some wrestlers?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
You mentioned pride. I was going to make a UFC joke because I ran into Brock Lesnar today.
You ran into him. How do you run into Brock Lesnar?
It ain't easy and it hurts.
I bet. How's he looking?
He looks great, and he was in a great mood when I saw him. I walked up to him and introduced myself and mentioned he was a former client of Paulie's. And he just started cracking up, and he said, I've been thinking about it.
Right on, right on. Brock's always been cool to me. You know, I can see why people would think he's a scary motherfucker. He's very intense, but luckily for me, he always respected me and treated me as such. So, Nikki, I got Sabu on the line as well. You know Sabu.
I certainly do. How you doing, Sabu?
Nikki.
Nikki, we're talking about pride. I don't know if you're able to listen in or not, but we are talking about pride. Pride is something like UFC. It's a company that of shoot fighters, just like Valor, just like K1. It's because it stands for, you know, respectable quality. Like, stand up for yourself, be proud of who you are. But it used to be a bad word. It was a sin, and it was something that you wanted to avoid because it was a deadly sin. And a sin, the definition of a sin is lawlessness. So we're talking about deadly lawlessness from God if you have pride, or if pride is the dominant quality there. So what's up with that? That's a pretty huge contrast, going from saying, hey, this is a horrible thing, to saying, hey, you should have this, you know, have this. Why don't you have this? I think, you know, is that just a sign of times changing? Because, like Noah said, that the whole world's turning against God. Do you think it's something like that?
Not really. I think Officer X is on the right track. You should be proud of the things you've accomplished in your life, but you shouldn't brag about them all the time. Say, you know how Kurt Angle always said, you know, I won this gold medal with a broken freaking neck. That's where you get to the sin of pride. You're leaning on that one accomplishment. Yeah, but what have you done for us lately, Kurt, besides freaking out on us, divorce your wife, and get in all kinds of other trouble?
Yeah.
But nowadays, it seems that you can't even be proud of an accomplishment. I've been hearing in schools there are no losers, and I'm like, you can't do that, because in real life there's always going to be winners and losers. Not everybody wins when they graduate. It doesn't work that way.
I agree.
Yeah, that's you know, that's funny. The documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster, a side effect of being an American, that was directed and written by Chris Bell, brother of Mike Bell, friend and wrestler that just passed away recently. And at the funeral services, Chris Bell said that's really what the movie is about when it comes to Mike, is the fact that in America, if you're not number one, you're nothing. And if you're not first place, then you're a loser, you know. And even though you could be amazing, accomplish all these things, if you're someone like Mike, you can never feel like you were quite good enough. Is that why we try and shove pride down everybody's throat? Because it is something that's it's forced on you. I mean, it's not something that you let be. Like people could describe me and say, oh, he's mellow. But people don't push that on you. People don't, you know, say, you know, be mellow. Why aren't you mellow? You should be mellow. How come you don't have any mellowness? You know what I mean? It's not like that. But with pride, it is. With pride, to admit that you don't have pride is basically saying, I'm a worthless piece of shit. And people call you on it, you know. They'll call you on it, and they'll say, you know, don't you have any pride? As if you have to say, yes, of course I have pride. Because if I say, no, I'm not proud, well, then what? Then I'm claiming to be nothing, right?
Not necessarily, because if you're not proud, then you're humble.
Well, see, that's just it. That's the perspective that you take on pride. If you're saying that you're not proud and you're humble, then I would say that pride is, in fact, you're looking at it like a flaw, like a quality that's bad, like one of the deadly sins. And it's amazing how you just brought that up, because you can also look at that the other way, as if a good thing, as if as if you need it, and as if it's a sin to even suggest that you don't have pride. Officer X, you're back. Did you bring the drunk monk?
No. The drunk monk is willing to be contacted via cell phone. He's listening, but he can't come on. The Pope would be all pissed off about it.
Wait, he's willing to be contacted via cell phone. He's listening, but he won't come on?
He can't.
Where's his pride? Oh.
Okay, so in other words, you can ask him a question for us and contact him and relay it back to us.
Gotcha.
That's going to be a pain in the ass. You already know the questions we're asking.
But here you go.
Here we go.
The 7 deadly sins, most of it come out of the book of Proverbs.
The book of Proverbs. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
And most of it isn't a list. He said it comes out of different teachings that are in the Bible. However, pride is considered the deadliest of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, the deadliest. And all the other sins are connected to pride and actually are founded in pride from the twisted perspective. But you're reading this right out of the book, right?
No, I'm getting it from the monk.
Okay, well, continue, please.
Okay, what was your other question, buddy?
Well, let's see. So it's considered the deadliest. So now I want to know, why are we taught to be proud if pride is in fact the deadliest and most blasphemous of the sins? That's what I want to hear from the drunk monk.
No, the drunk monk told me that the Bible teaching on it is the bad pride is putting others in front of yourself.
That's without an E.
Wait, Sabu keeps saying that pride without an E has another definition. Can we get a official word on that, Officer X?
Yeah, hold on. Let me call the monk. Start this rant for a minute. Pick me up in 2 minutes.
Okay, dude.
Bye.
So we'll be back to him. All right, Nikki. Well, listen, what are you proud of?
I am proud of the fact that many of the wrestling events I attend, that the workers treat me like another worker. I can shake hands with them. I can talk with them about what's going on, who they've seen recently, if they're willing to come to Cincinnati and see me work.
Wow. And
bless you. What was that?
RVD.
Hey, Sabu.
Hey, it's off subject, but there's no one more proud of me and you and Tanya than me.
Say that again, brother.
There's no one more proud than of you and Tanya than me.
We appreciate it.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Sabu?
Well, we appreciate that very much, Sabu. And Sabu has, he qualifies for being proud because he brought me into the business. He trained me firsthand. So as far as accomplishments, or even as far as like what kind of person I turned out to be, or any of that, I feel like since Sabu was a great influence in that if he feels proud, then I feel like I can understand that a lot more than someone that doesn't know me that's just proud of me. And as far as Sonya goes, Sabu's been with us the whole 12 years since we met.
Yep, the entire time.
So he's proud of everything we've done, and we've accomplished a lot, baby. We have beaten the odds. We've beaten the odds over and over again, so many different ways. We beat him from the left, beat him from the right, beat him with the cancer shit. We beat him with the relationship shit, and we're jamming, and we're going strong.
And to Sabu, I want to thank him for bringing us Rob Van Dam. And I also want to thank you for being such a strong and dangerous character. I've got a story that I've been needing to relay to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sabu, I ran into you a couple of years ago in Wheeling, leading up to I believe it was the second one-night stand, the night that Rob decided to prevent a disaster happening in New York City and beating John Cena for the WWE title. I had taken a photograph with you when you were not in costume, because we caught you out back on the way in.
Can I have that back?
What was you doing back there?
Catching up with people, and in fact, I even took a moment to talk to Paulie. The picture was posted. I brought it back and showed it to a few friends of mine on a wrestling message board, and the first response was, "You just ruined Sabu for me." I said, "Because he's in civilian clothes." And they said, well, they were making jokes. I hate to say that they were making jokes. They were laughing that your collar was popped, that you had a bag slung over your shoulder, and that the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal Sabu drinks a latte.
I'm that way in the ring. I'm not walking through an airport.
Sabu,
I know.
Sabu, I doubt if anybody has ever accused you of taking pride in sense.
What?
Hold on, someone's calling. Okay, I said I doubt if anyone has ever accused you of having too much pride in your fashion sense, much like me.
Okay, I think back. I never bragged about my clothes.
Sabu will walk through the airport with some workout shorts, cowboy boots, jogging top, and a baseball cap on backwards, and some big sunglasses too. Yeah, but you're like me. You're like, well, fuck it. Who cares? I'm still me. Right? I think Harry Slash had a good point. I think with me, I take more priority in like what's inside, and I don't even notice a lot of shit that's on the outside. You know. But one thing I do notice is we got Kid Kash on the line calling from Tennessee. What up, KID?
What up? What up?
What up,
yeah,
kid?
you know me.
Yeah, I know
What
you,
up,
man.
kid?
What up, Sabu?
What's up, my brother?
Not much, man. You still alive, huh?
What's that mean? Of course I'm alive. You can't kill this man.
I know, man. You're as bad as cancer.
That's right, Daddy.
Yeah, I've had pool for 15 years, and I'm still going strong.
I'm telling you, I don't see how you even are still walking. Are you?
What you been doing for 15 years?
Yeah, I'm getting better.
You're getting better? Cool.
I'm getting better.
Awesome. So what's up, guys?
Awesome. Kid Kash has been doing some MMA fighting lately, which is awesome. And I haven't got a chance to see yet, but I'm a big fan of MMA, so I hope you do really well in that, and I hope that you fight somewhere where I can see it soon, dude. I'm sure you got videos or whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a DVD of one of them, yeah.
Sweet, dude, and I can send you
address.
DTV DVD. Yeah, man. Oh, okay, it's 298. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What the hell? Kid Kash, I got someone I got to let through here real quick because he needs to talk to all of us. What up, Fonzie Daddy?
Fonzie?
Hey, that's right. That's right, Daddy. What's going on? Hey, you guys talking about casual. Sabu got his cowboy boots cut off by Sandman and halfway down, and he wore them for a year.
With the boots cut halfway down?
Yeah, he cut them off. He did a rib on them. Like when you guys put icy hot in my eyes at night.
I don't remember that happening at all.
That's right, Daddy. Yeah, right. That was great, but
sorry about that. Bad rib.
Hear me.
That was a bad rib. I remember that too. Hey,
You can hear me.
Yes.
All right, quit fucking with me.
Okay, Daddy. I was just telling a story, and I got a million of them I'm not going to tell, but, let's have fun. How's everybody doing?
Awesome, man. Starting into 2009, man, everything's looking really good. I got a bunch of projects that are coming together, perfect timing, a lot of shit that we're real excited about, and a lot of stuff I'll be sharing with everyone over the next week or two. I'll be making some big announcements business-wise, and most importantly, we got Sonya off of chemo, so we're real excited to be getting our lives back.
That's the most important thing for sure.
Yeah, how was New Year's? Awesome?
Sweet.
All right. Well, listen, man, I got a bunch. I got Fonzie, I got Harry Slash, I got Sabu, I got Officer X, I got Kid Kash.
Kid Kash, wow.
I got Nikki Heyman, Dave from California, Mike from Iowa. These are all just people on hold. A bunch of calls I haven't even got through yet, so let me move forward. And Kid Kash called right before Fonzie, and Kash and Fonzie, feel free to listen in, Fonzie, so I don't have to say this twice. Topic for today's show is pride. We're talking about pride, and what's in question is pride a good thing or bad? Is it a flaw or a virtue? Back in the day, it was one of the, and it still is, but it was presented as one of the 7 deadly sins. And we have Officer X on the line who's talking to a friend of his who's a priest, getting us information and answers to our question. And it comes back to us that pride is considered the most deadliest out of the sins. And I wonder, how can it go from that to being something that's insisted upon us? I mean, it's forced upon us since we're kids now to have pride. Take pride in yourself. Take pride in your family. You should be proud to be a fucking American. You should be proud of this or that. How did it go from one to the other? Sabu's theory was that it's 2 separate words. It's not.
Yeah, it can be a gateway, though. It can be a gateway, though. You know what I'm saying? It can start it all off for the rest of the deadly sins. I think that's what they're trying to say religiously.
You know, I get that impression, too, because they're saying that the other sins are derivatives, if you will, of pride, you know. So, in other words, the, lust, greed, penis envy, wrath, sloth, gluttony, they all come from pride, in a sense of pride first. But so, you know, is there just like a line that you're supposed to a divine?
I think there's a line after a certain level that you shouldn't cross, because too much pride can be egotistical and arrogant, you know. But if you have pride in yourself and you have pride in what you do and you have pride in your job, stuff like that, you can be successful. And there's nothing wrong with being successful. Even God wants you to be successful.
Well,
but
let me ask
you He doesn't want you to be lingering around and looking at yourself in the mirror with all the pride. Hey, look what I got. Look how hot I am.
Yeah, but you're God's create. Wait a minute. You're God's creation. If you're admiring your own flesh or the flesh of a lovely tight-ass brunette, then either way, aren't you? I mean, because that's lust, which is another one of the sins. Aren't you admiring God's work? Isn't that something He should approve of?
Yeah, but you can do it to an extent, though. You know, I mean, come on, really, think about it. You're looking at that tight-ass little brunette, but then if you take it to the next level and start imagining her without any clothes on, and you ever bent over a table in a restaurant, then you're gone a little too far.
Well, I don't know. It's the most natural drive that we have as living creatures, I think. But before I get into that too much, I'm going to put this out here, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody. Officer X, you're on, by the way. I've got you off mute.
Okay, bro, I'm ready.
All right, and I hope this doesn't offend you either, but my assertion of this whole thing is that God's pride is what every commandment and every sin and every rule as to how we should live our life follows. And I mean pride in a bad way. I think that, okay, so it's okay to admire your looks, but make sure you love God first. In the 10 Commandments, as I've said before, 4 out of the 10 Commandments are about how you should worship God. Don't worship anybody else before God. I think that God's pride is exactly what we're talking about here, and is exactly why we're supposedly set free to live our lives and to find and return back to Him without divine direction, without Him saying, hey, guys, I'm over here, but we're supposed to figure it out ourselves, and we're supposed to give everything else up and completely live 100% our lives for Him, to be as much like Him as we should. And in that case, would that not be God's humanly characteristic of having pride?
Well, ultimately,
I think jump on it, anybody.
I think ultimately you're just supposed to believe and have faith in God. And I think the worshiping comes along with the faith and all that stuff,
But you generalize it too much.
You can't take it to the next level, though, It's good to have pride. I got pride in myself. I got pride in everything I've ever done, But
Officer X, what did you find out from the drunk monk on if it's good to have pride?
Okay, the drunk monk, right? He's never heard of Sabu's translation without the E. He said it could just be an early translation.
Yeah, it's Arabic.
Yeah, however, though, Aristotle, way back when, came up with pride as a good thing, such as like this guy's talking about being proud of your job, proud of your wife, proud of your mom, proud of your dad. However, too much pride, according to Aristotle, led to what's called hubris. which is false pride, arrogance, stuff like that. However, when they wrote the Bibles, a lot of the Christian English translations didn't really pick up because the word doesn't translate in English the way it does in Greek.
Okay. All right. So we gave up the term hubris, pride, and so how is it that right now it's something that not only you think is necessary? Kid Kash says that it's a great thing to have, but it's insistent. Like we're taught as Americans, if you don't have pride, then fuck you, you're a worthless piece of shit. How did it get to be that when it was and is the most deadliest of the sins?
The hubris is the deadly part, not pride. Pride is a good thing. To the excess, it becomes this hubris, which is bad.
It's a human feeling that we get when we have a good match. You know what I mean?
That's right, Daddy. Turn you into greedy. You can't let pride take you and turn you into sloth. You can't take pride. You can't take it to those overextended extremes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're. You know, it's good to have, but know your limit. You know,
exactly. If you have no pride, you're fucked. I mean, the people are going to take your stuff from you. You're going to be a piece of shit. You float around with no purpose.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
but what if I don't
take all day?
All right, let me ask you something, Officer X, and anybody else can answer this too, but what if I have different standards than you do? What if you think I should have pride in things that I don't believe I should have pride in? For instance, what if I don't give a shit about what school I went to? What if I don't have any pride in the clothes that I wear? What if I don't have, here's one, guys, what if I don't have pride for being white? Because I don't think I do. I don't think I'm proud that I'm white. I'm cool with it because it's something I can't control. I'm born being white, and hey, turns out it's a good thing as far as racism goes and shit because we seem to be the dominant fucking color. But am I proud that I'm white? I don't think so. I don't think I am, and I think a lot of white people would say, "What the fuck you talking about, man? You should be proud that you're white." I don't know. I don't really see that. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, you should be proud that you're a self-sufficient man that can take care of his family, regardless of what you are. Yeah. Be proud of whatever you want to be, man, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and it gives you energy, It doesn't matter.
Right, I agree.
I agree with that.
When you talk about the false pride, what if I find pride in, like, really weird, crazy shit? What if I'm proud that I've got the world's biggest fucking pebble collection, and it's something that I take a lot of pride in. Everyone else just thinks I'm a fucking weirdo. Is that something that's like a good quality? Like, do you respect that about me, that I have pride in having the world's biggest pebble collection?
It don't matter. That's subjective. You're not hurting anybody. But if you're so proud and arrogant that, say, you walk around and you smack guys that are smaller than you in the head and you bust balls and you tell people they're shitheads and you're a jerk,
because I got the biggest pebble collection.
You're a glutton and you like eat too much and you get fat and you're starting to hurt yourself. You know, shit like that.
That's where it gets fucked up to the excess.
If you guys just want my pebbles.
RVD, motherfucker!
Yeah, if
that's right, Daddy.
You want everybody's pebbles and yours, you know?
That's right, Daddy.
Yeah,
Daddy.
Good point, man. I'm going to go to Des from Niagara Falls and see if I get some input from him. What up, Des? Welcome to RVD Radio.
How you doing, Rob?
Doing awesome, man. We got a really deep topic tonight, and I got Kid Kash, I got Sabu, I got Fonzie on the line. I'm here with SVD, and we're all tackling this, man. And I got to tell you, it's kind of a brave thing to talk about, some of the shit I'm talking about, questioning God's word as we understand it, and it's something ballsy to talk about. We're just laying our feelings out there. I'm no expert. However, Officer X has the drunk funk online, direct line of communication to answer our questions about the Bible. So, Des, are you proud to be from Niagara Falls?
Well, this is a subject that's very close to my heart. And I've studied the difference between pride and arrogance for probably 25 years now, and I strongly believe that pride is very healthy. Very healthy.
All right, I'm with you. And give us give us a little bit of an example or a little bit of elaboration, because after 20 years of studying it, we don't just want you to bottom line it. We want to understand.
No, I'll explain it. 25 years ago, I used to sell insurance. One of the things that I noticed is a whole lot of us didn't make any money, and a whole lot. That's right, Daddy. Just a very few people made a ton of money. One of the things I wanted to know was why. So when I studied it, I realized that these people set goals, they made plans, they studied, they learned, and they said, this is what I'm going to do, and they accomplished it. And that built the pride inside them that this is what I was going to do, and that's what they did. Just like your career. You said you were going to be a phenomenal wrestler, a phenomenal entertainer, and that's exactly what you set out.
Who stole the fucking dope?
What the fuck?
When all of a sudden you go from saying, you take that pride and you take that joy of what you set forth and you accomplished, and then you put it onto other people and say, this is what I did, you've crossed that magical line into arrogance. And that's when you got into vanity. And when you got into the other things where you said, you all of a sudden became, I'm better than you. That's not pride.
Okay, I think that's well put. I think that's well put, and I can relate that to some people that I know. In fact, a couple of guys in the WWE dressing room, I often get asked why I don't get along with these guys. Wait, I got to mute somebody because someone's being noisy. Who is it? Offer it up.
Let me ask you a question if I can. And I wrestled for 8 or 10 years. I understand.
That's a long match.
Well, yeah, it was. I didn't get much sleep, but I understand what the business. I understand the business, and you don't go in there and say, this is what's going to happen. So you have to live within the structure that they give you, but they give you a certain amount of freedom to be yourself and do the best that you can do, because I know what the business is all about. It's making money.
Yeah, I believe all business is about making money.
Exactly. And if you leave that world where you're punching a time clock and you start your own business, you say, this is what I need to do. This is the plan I have, the goals that I'm going to make, and you stick to them and you accomplish them. And that's where you build that pride.
Well, okay, so I understand for sure that the perspective you're taking on pride is like a self-feeling of accomplishment, and that is important. We should all know that when we set a personal goal and then we cross that goal, we should be proud of ourselves for doing that. There's no question about that.
Exactly.
Is that same emotion, that same feeling you have when you won that race, or you knocked that guy out, or you made that basket, whatever your goal is,
or you learned how to fix your own car, or you built your own house. That's pride that you accomplished something, or I taught you how to do something you didn't know how to do. That's pride.
So when somebody takes pride in the way they dress, a literal translation would mean that they're really proud of the fact that they matched their top and their bottom?
That's a possibility, sure. Or I dressed for my age, or I dressed for my business, or I dressed successfully, or whatever have you. Sure.
Right, so they're proud of the way they look and the impression that they feel like they're leaving with people. So I can...
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. And you're saying that excessive pride is, in fact, and obviously when you say there's something wrong, it's one thing to say this is the deadliest sin, it's blasphemous, and it separates you from God. It's another thing to say, well, you know what, that's really an unlikable quality about a person. Huge difference. Wrongness. Am I right about that?
There would be a huge difference, because some people take pride in what they've accomplished and they spread that to other people by saying, this is what I did. You know, I'm better than you because you can't do it or something of that nature. And you cross that line from self-esteem to arrogance.
Okay, listen, I appreciate that.
A mile away.
Okay, Des, hold on a second because I don't want to lose this call, and people hang up on me all the time because I keep them on hold too long. Got someone here by the name of Hollywood G-Man who, Officer X, I believe this is your drunk monk. What up, Hollywood G-Man?
Rob, I don't know if I'm the drunk monk, but I'm someone that he fears.
Okay, man. Maybe this ain't the right guy. He says, who are you?
No, he knows me, sir. I work.
Are you
with
afraid
him.
of him, Officer X?
No, it's the supermarket.
Oh, this is Officer Mark.
Stop, Rob. Mr. Van Dam, you might call me a Mark. I went down to Barely Legal to see you guys. First pay-per-view ever. But we all know who the Mark is, Officer X. But there's a thing about pride. I have a few things about pride. It's the little things, I think.
You're all marks. You're all fucking marks.
It's the little things. Like right now, I'm kind of proud of the fire I made in the fireplace right now. It's pretty sharp.
You know, that's kind of stupid, man. I hear you, but that kind of sounds like a baby that just pooped his diapers and looks at you with look.
That was fucking lame, dude.
Hey, I'm proud of.
I'm pretty lame thing to be proud of.
I'm actually even more proud of the that I noticed that the lighter fluid that I had in front of this hot fire was.
That's right, Daddy.
That I got it out of there.
All right. Well, that's good. A lot of times I'm proud of something small like that. Like I knock something off the table and bam, I catch it in midair like Shokasugi and Enter the Ninja. I'm proud of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, hell
exactly.
yeah.
I'm not gonna get over deep into it like Officer X does, but I do the same thing he does, and things I do, I get a little proud about the little things.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to go back and forth, Officer X. I'm sorry. I don't want to promote him.
Well, listen, and I've always said
I'm not going to wax philosophic about pride and stuff. There's some good things in the Bible, some quotes in the Proverbs, and it's cool. But it's it's the little things that you get proud of. Being the new house with the old lady, the new condo, it's nice. Proud that after 35 years, I finally settled down a little bit.
All right, now, do you feel...
little thing then?
Listen, a lot of people are telling me it's about the balance. It's cool to feel pride as long as you have it in check and you're not too proud. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, Daddy.
I am not too proud of it, but from what Mom and everyone else says, it's something to be proud of, I guess, after the life I've led for the last 15 to 20 years.
All right. Now, what if it's not an accomplishment? Like, let me see. I gotta unmute Des again. I don't know if that was Des. I got a question for you. You're talking about taking pride. It's in stuff that you accomplish. What if it's something, such as your looks? If you're proud, you think you're handsome, but you didn't have shit to do with that. What if you feel like you're largely endowed and you're proud that you have a big penis? What's that about? Is that a sin? Is that like a deadly sin because it's your penis and we're not supposed to talk about sexual organs? We're supposed to cover them up?
Rob, I'm not proud of it.
Rob, I would call that vanity.
But this broad, after all that she's put up with me, she stays with me for some reason, and she's kind of pretty. So I don't know. There's got to be something. And with me and Officer X too, we don't make too much darn money, and she makes a lot more than both of us do together.
So you're proud that you...
All right. And I never will brag about it.
You just did, dude.
Rob, can you hear me?
Sabu.
You bragging, motherfucker.
I have to send to my mother.
What's that?
I have to send to my mother. She's not feeling good.
Oh, okay, man. I hope she feels better. And
do you have pride in that?
I'm sorry. If she feels better for the hour's over, I'll call back.
Okay, cool. All right, man.
All right,
thanks,
man.
Sabu.
God bless everybody. Later.
Take care, Sabu.
Call me.
All right. And there goes Sabu. Sabu's gone. Oh, hey, your guy Billy B called, but he hung up because I didn't.
Rob, that would be vanity.
What would be vanity?
About the size of your appendage.
Now, how is that? Okay, all right.
No, I have pride in that.
No, but wait, listen. Is that Sonia says she's proud. Oh, she slapped me. Hey, would that be any different than being proud that you're in good shape? I mean, obviously, if you worked for it, then it's accomplishment. You know, if you've been working out hard and you got it's your accomplishment then. But you know, what if you're proud that you're strong? I mean, isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, you should be proud if you got a big dong, man, because that's what God gave you, dude. Be proud God gave you a big dong.
Where's that in the Bible? I got to look it up.
It is not in the Bible, but you should be proud that God blessed you with a big dong, dude.
I don't even know a guy named Jim. I'm not in shape. I don't know what she's staying with me for. But
all right, we'll take that big dong to a porn film in the last 30 seconds and find out how many people are proud of it.
Oh.
Hey, trust me when I tell you this.
Might be proud of that.
There's a couple of hundred women around the world in the last 15 years that are proud of my dong.
Hey,
now, is that a sin?
No, wouldn't that be envy? Isn't that a sin?
I don't know. Hey, Dr. Sean Stippich, you're on the line, man. Jump in here. We got everybody screaming every which way. How you doing tonight, Sean?
Good. I'm actually rushing home to do my show. I don't know if I'm going to make it on time, but I just thought I'd tune in, and all I'm hearing about is vanity, pride, and dongs. So what are you guys talking about?
Yeah,
we're talking about coconut oil on your prick.
It's coconut oil. Hey, listen, Dr. Sean, we're talking about pride today. Pride, as you know, one of the 7 deadly sins. The deadliest, in fact, and at the same time, it's something that's pushed upon us as a good virtue. It's necessary, according to this conversation today. It's an admirable quality for someone to have. You, living in Dallas, Texas, you know all those cowboys around there. They've got so much pride being from Texas. It's a good thing or bad thing?
That's a tough one, you know. I mean, I think that if you have pride in the sense that you're very vain and you're materialistic and you can't see past the surface, I think that's kind of and define sin, you know. I mean, that depends.
Sin means lawlessness. That's the definition.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's talking about Sandman.
I think that pride, though, I mean, I struggle with that myself because I have pride in succeeding, pride in things that I've worked hard for in my life that I've accomplished. I think there's nothing wrong with being proud, but maybe giving that grace to people who helped you along the way.
That's right, Daddy.
Supported you along the way, and then ultimately to God. I give grace to God, you know. So I don't know. Pride to me is something that I've always struggled with.
You struggle with that one. All right, well, we're just thinking about it because it's something people just assume. They take it for granted. And when you think about it, like, Sean, are you proud that when, like, the Dallas Cowboys win a football game?
No, I'm actually proud when they lose.
Are you proud of the Dallas cheerleaders? Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders?
Only when they're over at my apartment.
Whoa. All right. So, Sean, I think that we try to make
dong.
What? Oh, anyway, we're talking about Kid Cash's dong tonight, everybody.
Rob, I'd just like to say that I'm not very proud of the fact that I've been pulled over by 3 cops in the last week, and I got a speeding ticket yesterday.
You sound probably Officer X about it on RVD Radio.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Officer X?
Slow the fuck down.
I'm speeding right now to get home. I missed my show. Make sure you call my show. We'll talk about it, okay?
Oh, shit.
Felon.
Nail it in and challenge it. He's never won one yet.
I'm going to go to the courts and I'm going to, hey, Officer X, what do you think of this? I'm going to go to the courts in 3 weeks from now, and I'm going to request a trial by jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what I'm talking about on my show tonight, so let's talk about that. So
we'll talk about speeding tickets.
Let's talk about speeding tickets and how to get out of them.
Hey, speaking of which, I got a question, Officer X or Officer Mark, either one of you guys or both of you. I get the summons to appear as a juror all the time. I completely ignore them. Like, for 10 years, I've never responded to one of them. Sonia's always like, you can't do that. They're going to come after you. I never respond. I'm like, well, that's not for me. That's for other people. You know, I'm never home. And now we got one, and it's like an upgraded one. U.S. District Court subpoena to appear.
You got to go, but they're not going to pick you.
Nah, Rob, you might have a couple warrants against you, but you're people who know people. You can get rid of that.
It's not. I don't have any warrants. I don't have any fucking. I got a clean record.
These fags they issue warrants for failure to appeal for jury duty. So
I got you.
Just taken care of. It's true.
Wow, can they really do that if you don't respond and they say we want you to be?
Definitely. You see it all the time. You see these people you pull over and they got a warrant for failure to appeal for jury duty, and obviously you just let them drive away because that's so lame.
Wow.
I don't know what it's like out in the Sunshine State of California, but
you should know it's beautiful out here.
Hey, if you got one for U.S. District Court, don't fuck around with the feds. Just go.
I'm not gonna go. Fuck.
No, you don't want to, dude. You don't want to go. Don't waste your freaking half day about that. Just disregard it. I'm sure you know someone down at court, and they'll take care of it for you. That's it's easy as that. But there's a chance you might have a warrant against you if you've gone 10 years with jury duty. Hey, we get jury duty slips too. We don't go because we go down to court and say, hey, I'm gonna say this guy is guilty no matter what. I'm gonna excuse you.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay, so give them a reason to where they can't use me. Because I was thinking maybe I'd respond and say, I have too much pride to sit in your jury box, and I have a long dong.
And Rob, seriously, tell them you have a relative in the police force, and you think that no innocent people get arrested. Then you'll be scot-free.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Fucking give me a official word.
RVD, motherfucker!
Where's the goat?
The goat?
All right, boys, the old lady's home. Hollywood G-Man is out.
All right, man. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, Rob. Take care, bro.
All right, dude. Hollywood G-Man. Or his Officer X calls him.
Yeah.
The Officer Mark. All right, cool, dude. Well, I'm going to go to Billy B. from Mississippi. Thanks for calling into RVD Radio tonight. What's on your mind, Billy B?
What up, Billy B?
Not much. I think that that word's overused for certain situations. Like Sabu said he was proud that y'all been together for 12 years.
He's proud that we've been together. Now, does that mean, is that a sense of his own accomplishment, or is it just vibrating with our success?
I don't know. Has he been married for a long time? I don't know.
Yeah, he actually got married before us and kind of like set the pattern for me. To be honest, I remember when he would bring his wife, he told me around, and I saw this other side of him because he wouldn't let anybody in the dressing room. He was very protective of the business. We'd be in a lot of crappy buildings that we didn't have a lot of control over, and like a hot dog guy would be coming through the dressing room to take a shortcut. He'd say, "Get out of here! You can't be in here!" He'd chase him out, throw shit at him and stuff, you know. And he's always been that way. And then I noticed like when he'd bring his wife around, like the world would stop for her. He'd like run and grab a chair, even if it was a chair from the dressing room that one of the other guys were going to sit in to dress. You know, he would grab the chair and set it up, make sure she's all taken care of, you know, and make sure, you know, someone's watching her and put her in the best spot in the building, safest, where she can see everything. And then, and I was like, wow, you know, I guess that's how you treat a lady. And he was really influential on me in realizing the priorities that he set forth, you know, putting his wife above the job and everything else. So yeah, so I can see where if he was proud of how we turned out or something, I could see where he could, in his own way, want to take credit for that. I'm not sure that he does when he says that he's proud. You know, just like you know, Dr. X is proud that I'm kicking ass with a bunch of these projects, but he knows that it's not like his own doing. That's a little questionable. Looking at the word, dissecting the word pride, you know, we're talking about some good things. As you know, it's also a bad thing. It's a bad thing to have too much pride and to let pride get in the way, you know. But if it's a good thing, isn't like more of a good thing even better?
Yeah, you there?
In that case, no, not at all. Take the guy that has all the greatest pebbles in the world, or however you put it.
Yeah, the biggest pebble collection. Wasn't that a gay example anyway? But yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, think about the other guy that has that one pebble that he doesn't have.
Okay. Ooh.
All right. think about all the pride that first dude had, and now he's crazy. He's going to kill that guy and take his pebble. That's a bad thing, then.
You're listening to RVD Radio.
You know what? That actually kind of reminds me of taking pride in your country, because you're brainwashed to think, USA, USA, you're a soldier, Marine, whatever, fuck. So now you're going to go and kill other people because you're proud of being an American, and in your mind, their life, their existence stands for anti-American. So it's okay to go ahead and kill them and wipe them out because you've got so much pride, and your pride is bigger than their pride. Isn't that basically what war is about?
Kill them motherfuckers.
Exactly. Officer X, you jump in on that one, because Fonzie's usually my my reference for logic, and he's gone. I don't know where he went. I guess.
No, he just got disconnected. I just got a text from him.
You got a text from Fonzie? What do you say?
He's disconnected. He wants to jump back on. He's trying to call in now.
Fonzie,
that's right, Daddy.
That's right, Daddy. Okay, cool. Get him on. Hey, Kid Kash, this is for you, because I know that you haven't heard this before.
I love you.
The world was proud of that.
Yeah, that's Deadwood.
Hey.
It's Deadwood. I so fucking wish, if they don't do a second season, I wish they would at least do a fucking Deadwood movie. Deadwood fucking rocked, and there was like, was it 2 or 3 seasons, baby?
I think it was
3. So they had like 3 seasons. I don't know if you guys watched it, but awesome. We got it on DVD, but then when it comes to the end, they just kind of leave you hanging.
Did you see Brotherhood?
No, man. I think you ask me that every fucking week, but no.
It's fucking rent it, you lazy fuck. There's plenty of time to see that.
That button right there, but if you
yeah, but isn't it a bunch of like Irish guys or something?
Rhode Island.
Okay. No. All right. I'll try and check it out.
Someone else. Sopranos, buddy.
The Wire too, right? Is
unbelievable.
Right on. Well, let me ask you, do you watch Crash?
No.
Well, you're missing out, bitch.
RVD, motherfucker!
Dude, Crash is like my favorite show all week. It's not a cop show at all. It's very California. It's like watching a car crash. You can't turn away. It's so bizarre and it's so intense. Fucking, what's the dude's name? The star of it? Dennis Hopper. He is so fucking intense. But it's on Showtime. A lot of people don't get Showtime.
No, I get Showtime. I'll check it out this week.
Oh, dude, you'll love it. This Friday is the season finale for the first season, and so intense. Love it. Used to be Dexter. I love Dexter too, but Dexter used to be my favorite. And Crash passed it.
Hey, the monk just called in with another pride thing.
Do you got to take the call, or do you already have the info?
No, I got it.
All right, pass it on to the listeners of RVD Radio. Pass it on to Kid Kash. He's dying to know what you got.
What you got?
Okay, bro. The virtue of any comes from the middle.
What? Start over. Oh, yeah.
There's 2 extremes to pride.
Okay.
Which is having none and having too much. The virtue of it is in the middle.
That's right, Daddy.
Having enough pride not to be walked on, but not having too much, you're an arrogant asshole. The virtue of it is in between the 2 extremes.
Hey, does the Bible actually say you're an arrogant asshole?
It says, that cocksucker.
Okay. That's a newer version. I haven't read that one.
Yeah. It's in the middle, though, bro.
2 extremes. There's 2 extremes of pride.
The virtue falls in the middle.
It's all about balance.
That's exactly what the monk ended. It's all about balance.
Where are you at? Are you in the middle or what?
I'd like to think I'm in the middle. We aspire to get balance. Balance is the toughest thing in the world to have in life.
Is your glass half full?
Yeah.
Mine's
Mine's overflowing.
Your glass is overflowing, dude. Turn the water off.
Oh my God.
Life is too good, man. Don't have time to have a shitty day.
True. All right, man. Well, listen. This is a little bit scary, but if you guys are willing to back me up on this, I'm gonna go to this call. All right, Officer X. You don't have to have your gun drawn, but please have your hand on the gun ready. And here we go. Yes, I'm taking it, Nikki. I'm taking it. Let's go to Teddy and Benji from North Carolina. What's up, guys?
Yes, hello there, sir. How is it?
It is excellent. I have Kid Kash on the line all the way from Tennessee.
Well, the last time he did most of the speaking, this time I will.
Okay. That might go along a little smoother.
What I learned from last time is let me speak.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
No disrespect intended, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, it sounds like you have a very excited person. Is that your son?
Yes, that would be the other person. Yes.
Of the oldie.
Yes.
Yes. We hear him in the background, man. You guys listen to RVD Radio every week?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Except I do it different than most people. I just do it through the phone.
Oh, yeah, right on. That's a lot of people that log on to Blog Talk Radio, and a lot of people just listen in on the phone. And either way, it's cool with us. We're talking to you on the phone.
The show is
you.
Joey? It's very good. I enjoy it very much.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, man. Listen, I'm talking with KID, Kid Kash, and talking with Officer X. Be careful, we do have a police officer online. And we're talking about pride, guys. What's pride mean out there to you in North Carolina? It's something good, right?
Oh, yeah, very much so, very much so.
Benji's trying to come up with something he's proud of, right? Or
No. How I want to put this.
Are you Teddy or Benji?
No, that's me.
Okay, good enough. And the other guy is Teddy or Benji?
There you go, yeah. No, the very excited person would be Teddy, thank you.
Okay.
Just so you know, you might have us backwards, I think.
Okay, I think you're Benji and Teddy.
There you are. There you are. Now you got it.
And it's your daughter.
No, he's just my friend.
It's your wife. It's your wife?
No.
What is the relationship between Benji and Teddy?
Oh, just really good friends only.
Okay. All right, I got you. Just trying to get an understanding on the foundation here, because Teddy is shaking our foundation. Awesome. All right, so there you are in North Carolina, living by the Hardy brothers. And are you proud of the Hardys because they're from North Carolina?
Yes. Very much so.
So you feel connected to them, like even if you didn't grow up with them or whatever, because they're from your hometown, that makes you want to see them succeed even more, right?
Yes. I was going to ask you that very point. Does it surprise you to this point?
Does what surprise me?
Oh, that they both hold major titles at the same point.
One more time. I'm not sure I understood that. Does it surprise me that they both what?
That they have achieved to the level they're at.
I guess in a certain way that surprised the old me. Like about 10 years ago, I might not have suspected that would happen. But because the business has changed so much in the last several years, I'm not surprised now because, I think, all the time they put in as much talent as they have, eventually they're going to have to stand out, especially now when it's just like a handful of wrestlers and one group that pretty much represents all of pro wrestling on TV, except for, those guys in TNA too. But basically, there used to be a lot of different wrestling federations. Now that there's, not so much, and WWE pretty much monopolized it, I'm not so surprised that the Hardys would get ahead, seeing as they're already, they're already at the table, so they're going to be at the head of the table eventually.
Oh, dude. Lots of fans in this area, too.
Yeah, dude.
Very big fan area.
Tell him,
yes.
The idea, that I came up with.
Love to hear that idea.
What idea was that?
Okay. Okay. About.
I don't want to talk to these cocksuckers, but you have to.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Oh, that was uncalled for. Okay, listen, I want to hear about your idea, but I also want to check in with Sabu, who called back. Sabu, what's up? Is your mama right now?
What's up, Ed?
He says that he's unmuted, but I'm not sure he is. Let me see again. Sabu! Yeah. Hey, so you're back, man. Everything's all right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We got Teddy and Benji online from North Carolina. Do you want to hear them scream and stuff?
Yeah, I heard.
All right, here's some more. I'm going to take them off mute.
Here's what the idea is. I got it.
Now I'm putting them back on mute. They're like a sound bite. I can just go to them when I want screams. That's awesome. Let me go to them right now. Boom. Let me see. Hey, so Teddy and Benji, we have a question for you. Do you take pride in having a long dong?
I guess if I did, I would.
Okay. That's not blasphemous, is it? That's not saying like, hey, I don't need God because I've got a long dong. That's not what's happening there, right?
No, I don't take it to mean that way, no. But I got what the idea was, or what the idea he was trying to say before.
Yeah.
We figured it out while we were on the hole before.
He was home the whole.
Okay. So whatever they said, yeah, period. So Sabu coming back, dude. We've only got about 5 minutes left in the show, and we have taken the word pride and we have pulled it apart. We've dissected it. We've looked at it from a bunch of different perspectives. And yes, and we threw our dongs out. Oh, you know what? Justin McCully was supposed to be on. I forgot to tell him. I forgot to call him. Should I call him? And
classic at forgetting to tell people.
Dude, text him the number. See if he'll show up in the last minute.
JMC.
Yeah, he's on a JMC. Shit, I wanted to hear from the insane one what he thought about pride. Maybe I can get him real quick. See, that's how organized I am, man. I take pride in being organized for this show.
Hey, did Sabu end up working out in West Hollywood?
Sabu, what happened there? When you were in town with Dave DeFalco, did you end up working out at that gay gym?
Very gay.
You don't have any stories to tell us about it?
I should.
He don't remember.
All right, well, here's the deal, though. Gay pride is one of the most symbolic and standout advocacies of pride that there is. So here's a group. They want to separate themselves from other people by putting the line up, the fence that says this side gay, that side not gay. And is that something that, like, they're really, really excited and proud because they're gay and other people aren't, and so they stand out? Or is that more of a stand up for yourself because everyone else is trying to bash you down, so you're trying to say, well, fuck yeah, man, I'm right here. Is it like that? Oh, my God. Who is that? Who do I mute there? I don't know. I got to mute somebody. I don't know. Officer X, speak to me.
No, I mean, everybody wants to be inclusive until it benefits them not to be, I think, with a lot of stuff.
Don't you think that when people are proud of something, it's because they're being set apart from other people? And if they're connecting to someone to be proud of them, it's because they want to be part of that team that's separate from other people, separate because they're better at that moment.
I'm with you. It's like America's not the melting pot anymore. It's the vegetable stew.
So, are you proud to be gay, yes or no?
No, I'm not gay.
I know, I'm just joking. Hey, so what, man? Quit bashing. Don't be bashing. Don't be a hater. We're not haters on RVD Radio.
No. I don't go to the West Hollywood Gold with you and Triple D to squat.
Nice. All right, and just for the scream of it, I'm going to unmute Teddy and Benji. Ah! Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up in North Carolina, man? We're glad that you called in today during the end of our show here. We're about to sign off here in a few minutes. You guys got any closing comments?
Yeah, one comment, which would be, I think I'm going to call sooner next week.
Huh?
I think I'm going to call sooner next week.
You're going to call someone next week?
Oh, sooner. Get on the show earlier.
Yeah. By the way,
All right, listen, this is your one and only chance, lifetime opportunity. Would you like to ask Kid Kash a question?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Drive your retard.
Put you on the spot.
He's from the South too, right?
Yes, he is. He's in Tennessee.
So what? We have just prove Southern people are tough?
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, Kid Kash, but I'm going to make up my own question and say, are you proud to be from the South, man?
Sure, dude.
Are you seriously, or do you not care?
I don't give a fuck, man. It's a roof over my head and bills are paid. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about being a Yankee or whatever, the opposite of a Southerner is, but a lot of people do. That's, like, really, really important to them, you know? Like, fuck yeah, man, we're from the South.
I live in Nashville where there's a lot of people with pride of being Southerners, and sometimes it's kind of disgusting, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
give me a dude. Proud
Listen, man, Blog Talk Radio producer Nikki, why don't you unmute yourself and join our show for a second before we close off, if you will.
Hello.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Oh, what a great show. Hi, SVD. Mwah.
So, you like today's topic?
I did, and, you know, I could have been unmuted 100 times, but I think that I came away with this. You can be prideful if you're not full of arrogance.
You're confusing all.
And it's something that's not only like a quality that's admirable, but it's something that's like necessary to be a decent human being. Would you go so far as to say that's right?
I absolutely would.
Wow. All right. Well, cool. That's our show for this week, everybody. We'll be back next week on the 14th. Don't know what we're talking about yet, but Blog Talk Radio producer Nikki will be there. SVD. Say bye, baby.
Bye, everybody. I'm proud of you all. Mwah.
I'm just proud of you all. Kid Kash, thanks for joining us, dude. Sabu, thanks for joining us. And Officer X. And next time you can get the drunk monk on if you could. Bye, Harry Slash. Bye, all the free thinkers and extremists. It was a good show. I'm not sure if I learned anything, but after I think about what everybody said, of course I learned something. We all just grew, man. How cool is that?
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Exterminator! Man assassinator! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Again, got second your brain! skull crack. You can stop the turn of your brain. Straight to your skull crack. Rob and kill. The whole fucking show. Rob and kill. The whole fucking show. I will fly high. 5-star frog splash. You can't stop me. 5-star frog splash. Frog and kill. The whole fucking show. Frog and kill. The whole fucking show. It's all about the yin and the yang. The balance of power that bends. You can't stop the yin and the yang. The balance of power that bends. Rob and kill. The whole fucking show. Rob and kill. The whole fucking show. I will levitate. Flip kick you in the yam.